Hi, welcome to my video on vertical reflection on sine theta. Vertical reflection is a reflection when you reflect from here down to here, so that's in the x-axis. Y equals sine theta, so we're looking at a unit circle whose radius is 1. So there's the center 0, 0. So this is 1, comma 0. Up here, x is 0, y is 1. This is 0. This is 90. 180 is x is negative 1, y is 0. And at 270, x is 0, y is negative 1. And then all the way around back to 360 is 0, 1. So what we have is that at sine is the y. So at 0 degrees, the y is 0. 0 degrees, the y is 0. At 90, the y is 1. At 90, the y is 1. At 180, the y is back to 0. And at 270, the y is negative 1. 270, the y is negative 1. And 360, y is 0. So we have from 0 to 360, this is the sine graph that this continues on continuously as theta gets larger. This follows the same pattern. So this is the sine graph that we're going to dwell on in this unit. Reflection in the x-axis has the mapping rule x comma y to x to negative y. So y is mapped to negative y. So the equation y equals sine theta, the y becomes negative y. And we multiply by negative 1, so y equals the negative of sine theta. So in order to graph, we're graphing using the mapping rule. This is the table in relation to the unit circle. So we got a 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. And again at 0, we have, at 0 degrees, we have y is 0. The sine of 0 is 0. Sine of 90 is 1. The sine of 180 is 0. The sine of 270 is negative 1. And the sine of 360 is a 0. So this is the table of values for the y equals sine x coming at the unit circle. So theta, so the mapping rule is theta going to, this is x, so this is, instead of mapping x, we're going to map theta. So the mapping rule is theta going to, so I'm using the mapping rule. This is theta instead of just x comma y. I'm using theta as the angle. So theta is 0, 90, 180, 270, 360 degrees. Now we're looking at the negative of sine theta. So this is sine of 0 is 0, the negative of 0 is 0. The sine of 90 is 1, so the negative of that is negative 1. And the opposite of 0 is 0. The opposite of a negative 1, the sine of 270 is negative 1. The negative of a negative 1 is 1. And sine of 360 is 0. The negative of 0 is 0. So now I'm going to plot when we reflect. So 0 gives me a 0. 90 gives me a negative 1. 180 gives me 0. 270 gives me 1. 270 gives me 1. 360 gives me a 0. So this is the sine graph. Again, this continues on like this forever, and it goes on like this, continued. But notice that it's reflected, so the 1 became negative 1, and the negative 1 became 1, so flipped over. And in terms of radians, the radians 0, 90 is pi over 2, 180 is pi, 270 is 390, so it's 3 pi over 2, 360 is 2 pi, and this is a 0, 1, 0, negative 1, 0. We're putting radiances, so 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. So we're doing the opposite of 0, which is 0. Opposite of 1 is negative 1. Opposite of 0 is 0. Opposite of negative 1 is 1. And we get the opposite of 0 is 0. So this is in terms of radians. So this is 2 pi. And notice this is pi. And this is pi divided by 2.5. And this is 3 pi over 2. This is 3/90. And again, 0 is 0. 90 is a negative 1. Pi is 180 is 0. 180 is 0. 3 pi over 2. Notice pi over 2 is 180 divided by 2 is 90. That's 3/90. Is 270. That's a 1. And 2 pi is a 0. Again, if it's radians or degrees, we'll come up with the same sine graph. And notice the sine graph is a sideways S. And notice it's positive, so it's going up from here. Notice this sign right here, y equals negative sine x, is opening down. So if 0, 0, it's going down to the negative 1. Here it's going from 0, 0, going up to 1. So that's the reflection. And again, just to mention, this is a sine graph, which is a sideways S. Notice sine is S, so the graph is a sideways S, like this. And that's going up from here, positive. And if it's a negative, it's going down. So that is the video on the reflection of the sine graph. And reflection is the vertical reflection in the x-axis. If you like my video, click on the like button. If you're not a subscriber, click on the subscribe button. Visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. And that's the content I have on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video was of some help to you. Bye-bye.